Hello, everybody. This is Glenda with Shaking Hands Art with Fralins and Friends. And I guess that's as goofy as I'm going to get for now. We are going to be studying the second chapter of Ruth. If you remember last time, Naomi, Ruth's mother-in-law, Naomi's husband had died. They were in Moab because there had been a famine in Bethlehem in Judah where they had lived. So they had gone to Moab. Well, Elimelech, that's hard to say, Naomi's husband had died. But her two sons were married to Moabite women. One named Ruth, and the other one Orpah. Now, Naomi felt God had just was punishing her for something, I guess. I don't know. We all kind of feel, like something's wrong sometimes. Maybe our fault or maybe something we did, but she told Orpah and Ruth to go back to their families. And Orpah did, which was fine. And Ruth decided to stick with Naomi, whether Naomi liked it or not. Naomi liked it, but she didn't think that it was right for Ruth to leave her family after her. And Ruth says, no, I'm going to stay with you. And she followed Naomi to Bethlehem. Now, in this second chapter, I'm going to read it. So what you see me doing here is Ruth is going to be at a wheat field. And I'm starting the wheat field. It's a very fair, very nice day. So it's a very pale sky. And also, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to read Ruth Chapter 2, and we'll see where to go from there. But the thing you might want to know about the book of Ruth, and especially about this particular chapter, is that this is not only the beginning of a romance and a marriage soon to take place, but it's the beginning of what some might call a dynasty. And Naomi had a kinsman of her husband's, a mighty man of wealth of the family of Elimelech, and his name was Boaz. And Ruth, the Moabitess, that is hard to say. She's from Moab, okay. Said unto Naomi, let me now go to the field and glean ears of corn after him in whose sight I shall find grace. And she said unto her, go, my daughter. And she went and came and gleaned in a field after the reapers, and she went and came and gleaned in the field after the reapers, and her hap was too light on a part of the field belonging unto Boaz, who was of the kindred of Elimelech. I am now going to believe that hap means what she was able to gather. And behold, Boaz came from Bethlehem and said unto the reapers, the Lord be with you. And they answered him, the Lord bless thee. Then said Boaz unto the servant that was set over the reapers, whose damsel is this? And the servant that was set over the reapers answered and said, It is a Moabitess damsel that came back with Naomi out of the country of Moab. Okay, I'm going to explain what I'm doing here in this picture. Now, according to this, it's corn. I did wheat, so forgive me for that. The main part is that this is Boaz's field. The men in green with the sickles there, those are the reapers. And the one in the pink dress down there at the bottom, that's Ruth. And you will see when Boaz in the painting appears, he will be in blue. And he'll be larger than the others because he's kind of looking down the field toward them, I guess. All right, now where was I? And she said, evidently she had said this to the reaper and asked if she could do this. And she said, I pray you, let me glean and gather after the reapers among the sheaves. So she came and hath continued even from the morning until now, that she tarried a little in the house. Then said Boaz unto Ruth, Hearest thou not, my daughter? Go not glean in another field, neither go from hence, but abide here fast by my maidens. Let thine eyes be on the field that they do reap, and go thou after them. Have I not charged the young men that they shall not touch thee? And when thou art athirst, go unto the vessels, and drink of that which the young men have drawn. Then she fell on her face, and bowed herself to the ground, and said unto him, Why have I found grace in thine eyes, that thou shouldst take knowledge of me, seeing I am a stranger? And Boaz answered and said unto her, It hath fully been showed me that, it has fully been showed me all that thou hast done unto thy mother-in-law since the death of thine husband, and how thou hast left thy father and thy mother, and the land of thy nativity, and art now come unto people which thou knewest not heretofore. The Lord recompense thy work, and a full reward be given thee of the Lord God of Israel, under whose wings thou art come to trust. Then she said, Let me find favor in thy sight, my Lord, for that thou hast comforted me, and for that thou hast spoken friendly unto thine handmaid, though I be not like unto one of thine handmaidens. And Boaz said unto her, At mealtime come thou hither, and eat of the bread, and dip thy morsel into the vinegar. And she sat beside the reapers, and he reached her parched corn, and she did eat, and was sufficed and left. And when she was risen up to glean, Boaz commanded his young men, saying, Let her glean even among the sheaves, and reproach her not. And let the fall, where was I? And let the fall also some of the handfuls of purpose for her, and leave them that she may glean them, and rebuke her not. She so she gleaned the field until even, and out beat out what she had gleaned, and it was about epith of barley. An epith, that's a measurement, I'm sure, of barley. Okay, are we doing barley or corn? Okay, I want to try and read a little faster so I can get all of this in here. And she took it up and went into the city, and her mother-in-law saw what she had gleaned. And she brought forth and gave to her that she had reserved after she was sufficed. And her mother-in-law said unto her, Where hast thou gleaned today? And where wrongest thou? Rottest thou? Oops, sorry. Where rottest thou? Blessed be he that did take knowledge of thee. And she showed her mother-in-law with them she had wrought, with whom she had wrought, and said, The man's name with whom I wrought today is Boaz. And Naomi said unto her daughter-in-law, Blessed be he of the Lord, who hath not left of his kindness to the living and to the dead. And Naomi said unto her, The man is near of kin unto us, one of our next kinsmen. And Ruth the Moabitess said, He said unto me also, Thou shalt keep fast by my young men until they have ended all my harvest. And Naomi said unto Ruth, her daughter-in-law, It is good, my daughter, that thou go out with his maidens, and that thou meet thee not in any other field. So she kept fast with the maidens of Boaz, and gleaned unto the end of the barley harvest. Okay, now it is barley. Okay, looks a little like wheat. And of wheat harvest. Okay, here we go. And dwelt with her mother-in-law. Okay, I think the confusion is mine. I'm thinking maybe this happened over time, and there was corn, and there was barley, and then there was wheat. I don't know their seasons over there. So, but this has been a beautiful story of these people. And in the next chapter, it's going to progress even more into something very special. And there is the wagon full of the grain, and the guy in blue, that is Boaz. I gave him kind of a headdress there because he's rich. It's kind of a way of noticing that, I guess. I'll say good night. I love you.